Hey everyone, welcome to tonight's Big Brother Canada 11 chat.
Oh my goodness, so hi, it's episode 3 already. I feel like, what is the show? We haven't seen an episode in like 5 days.
It's weird. It's weird to have such a long gap in between episodes.
I don't like it.
And now the next 2 days after this are going to be like...
Yeah, and then it's like, and then you have like a week off almost, so...
I also just feel so lost because even though we've been watching the digital dailies...
The DDs.
I just feel like we have no idea what's actually going on in the house, and then we see this stuff on the show, and I'm just like, what? What's happening?
We had like one sentence about Hope not kissing a girl in the bathroom, and then on the episode, they showed maybe about 5 seconds of the kissing party in the bathroom, but like never
they teased
went into
that
detail
and then
about
it
it
on the show. But what are you gonna do? Let's talk about what we did see, I guess.
Which is basically like the same thing over and over and over and over and over. Forever, ever, ever. So last time we all know by now that Santina won the HOH. Mm-hmm. And Renee was the dead ass.
Dead last.
So she was down
Automatic
on herself.
nominee.
She was feeling down. But then she fired herself up and she said, I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna win the meal and get myself off the block. Okay. But Santina was celebrating in her room.
With Zach.
She wants to put somebody up from the purple bedroom.
So there we have it, confirmed. There is a split down the line with the 2 bedrooms. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, a lot of those big dudes are in the pink flamingo room. Yeah, and a lot of those girls that they're dragging along are also in that room, so...
I'm glad they finally, for once and for all, have said the purple bedroom is the toucan.
Toucan, yeah. Well, it says that on the door, too. I forgot that it said the colors on the door, and not just flamingo and toucan.
Well, they didn't show that on the digital dailies, so there you go.
It was in the house tour, daughter.
Sorry.
It's fine.
I don't remember it from that. All right, so Vanessa and Kuzi are fantasizing about an all-girls alliance. And
it was a nice thought, but, like, there's no way it's happening this season. We can already tell. It's not going to work.
They already put the kibosh on it themselves. They were already like, no, this is too much of a fantasy. Just stop.
I mean, if you look at the people in this cast, it's just not going to happen, which is very sad. And it's sad to learn it this early. All of our dreams are dead.
I don't think it's ever going to happen.
Well, Kuzi was like, I want to take out these guys one by one. But...
you could get 8 sisters in there, and there still wouldn't be an all-girls alliance. All right, so Jonathan, he's weaseling his way in there right away. Mm-hmm. And he says to Santina, I'll be your friend. And she was only too happy to say yes.
Oh, well, you're a muscle guy? Yes.
I want to work with the strong men like you and Zach and Ty.
I'm sorry,
and
but
Robert.
It's definitely giving the Totino's pizza
Tostinos?
rolls. Yeah, the SNL
Feed my hungry guys.
sketch.
These are for my hungry guys,
Yeah.
not for you. All right.
So... Santina is working with Zach, Ty, and Roberto. Did you just say that?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Kind of.
These guys are also working with the rest of the other dudes. So
Right.
how much they actually care about Santina once her HOH reign is over.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
All right. So Zach tells John, Ty, and Rob that JM is going to take out the boys. Ah!
This conversation was ridiculous, though, because Zach was also like, JM is in love with me. Like, he'll tell me everything, blah, blah, blah. He's in love with me, man.
But he'll take me out.
Okay, if you were smart and you thought that JM was in love with you... Oh, wait, I'm sorry. He said Dan is in love with him, didn't he?
I thought
Now I'm confusing people. Maybe he said both. I don't know.
Maybe.
I was just so shooketh by him saying that multiple times throughout this episode.
Well... Zach wants to put up Tattoo Dan.
Oh, okay, no. I'm pretty sure it was Dan that he was talking about.
Yeah.
He said Dan loves him, which I don't really see that, but okay. If he really thought that Dan loved him, wouldn't you want to keep that person around.
But
Like,
didn't he later on say that JM loves him too?
he might hope. I don't know. He thinks everyone's in love with him.
Everybody loves him. He's a chameleon. He's a smart businessman.
Yeah. So they want to get Tattoo Dan up on the block, and then backdoor JM so he doesn't have a chance to fight for that veto this week.
Right.
Cowards.
Yes, for real. All right, so it's time to see my HOH room.
This was a lot of screaming.
It was a lot of screaming, but I guess it was the first time.
Yeah, it was the first time they're seeing the
HOH room.
But
it's pretty spectacular.
It's great. I love the room. The thing is, whenever they show the HOH room, it's like sponsor time. That's what this is all about, baby.
Well, Wendy's, step up.
You get your winner's outfit, you get your Wendy's breakfast, and you get to bring someone along with you.
It's Wendy's breakfast.
Yes.
They don't
are
give you lunch or dinner
breakfast
anymore.
This season.
It's breakfast. But since they only gave you breakfast and not a full later on in the day meal, they're also going to be giving away secret Wendy's points.
Whoa!
But they're not saying what they're for yet.
How do you earn the Wendy's points? I want to know.
I don't know.
Whoever says Wendy's the most throughout the season, you get a special prize. And like, are the prizes going to have an effect on the game, or is it just like you get a meal? Like, what's the deal?
I just think it's going to be like extra. I don't think it has anything to do with the game whatsoever.
You think?
Yeah, it's just more scratch.
Because I thought they said something about like, oh, it could impact the game, but maybe it's like you impact the game by like picking this person to share something with, or
maybe,
you know what I mean? Like,
maybe.
I don't know. I don't know how much they're gonna tie that in.
What'd you think of that winner's outfit?
I thought her boob was gonna pop out.
It was scandalous. All right, so that's 3 scandalous outfits we've had this season already. JM shorts, the dress from the double date night.
If you've been watching the digital dailies.
Yes, and this winner's dress with so much side boob that it was almost front boob. Yeah, that happened.
Oh, God. Okay.
That's right.
Well, anyway.
That's scandalous.
Santina is having her one-on-one HOH chats, and she's realizing she wants to put up 2 players that she hasn't really, like, connected with.
She wants to get the low-hanging fruit.
That's classic week 1
Absolutely.
HOH.
She doesn't want to get any blood on her hands.
Hands, yes. So she's thinking maybe Dan and Anika, they're both in that other room. She hasn't really talked that much game with them yet.
To which Zach later on said, like, nobody cares about Anika, and...
Oh, he just sounds like such a jerk.
And Dan, who cares?
No, he's like, we can use Dan, and nobody cares about Anika.
Yeah.
Zach was gross in this episode.
He really was. All right, so...
It's time for...
the Wendy's breakfast.
The Wendy's breakfast.
I didn't see any points getting flung around, so... When Santina went to go pick up her Wendy's breakfast, they had a little iPad on a stick.
Can I play iPad?
Yeah. And said, like, push me, whatever.
Play me.
Play me. And it was Herman winning the HOH from last season. Right. Mm-hmm. And then Herman opened the Wendy's window and said, like, hi.
It's the man from the iPad. I guess they have to do that this season because there's so many recruits that, like, what if they don't recognize the person? That makes me so sad.
I mean, she probably would have known him, but I'm not so sure about the other people. So they can't just, like, have iPad one week and not have iPad next week. You know, they have to keep consistent.
Yeah. But it was exciting.
Same!
It was exciting to see Herman again because last season was such a banger.
It was a banger.
Mm-hmm.
This one, not so much. So he gave her some advice. And
I don't think she's going to follow it.
No, she's not.
Yikes.
All right. So JM says, target the boys.
Right. So she picked JM for this breakfast. I was like, oh, how nice. Like, he helped her win the HOH. Right. And now, like,
you know what?
She's paying it back. She's paying it back.
They had a connection.
It seemed like it.
They had a bond.
Mm-hmm.
And then something went horribly wrong.
He said, target the boys. And she said, not my hungry guys. Yeah. And then, I mean, to add to that, Zach is talking to Santina, and he's all, you should target Jean Martin. Who's Jean Martin? She even called him out in the moment, like, who? He didn't even know.
He didn't know
John Michael's name
was John Michael.
That is so sad. And he's like, don't just target him. You need to backdoor him.
When I heard John Martin, at first I was like, does he not know who Kevin Martin is? Is he talking about Kevin Martin?
I don't know.
That little puke?
They're going to have to break out the iPad in the storage room
I
if
know.
Zach wins HOH. Let me tell you.
Well, I think Zach is really scared of JM.
Yeah, because JM was like, I'm going to break up those boys.
But you would think that since Zach is such a raconteur, such a...
The Kim Kardashian of Ottawa.
chameleon, such a good businessman, that this wouldn't frighten him so.
Well, it does. He's gagging.
All right, well, JM has a talk with Hope, and he says he doesn't feel safe.
Yeah,
because
he's like...
nobody's talking to him.
He's like, look, Santina told me that I'm going to be safe this week, but I'm not getting
had a
great
deal.
vibes from her because she's giving me pretty much nothing in that Wendy's breakfast. And I don't know. He just had a weird feeling, and he was right.
And he also said, if I go up on the block, it's going to be good TV, Canada.
Ugh.
I did not see a return on that yet, but we're not there yet.
Yeah.
All right, so it's time for pizza and beer party.
Oh my god.
This episode was so disjointed. It was like, all right, we're going to give you 1 minute of the pizza and beer party, and then we're going to give you 1 minute of Zach talking to Santina. Then we're going to give you 1 minute of...
Mansplaining.
Yeah, I mean, it was just like these 1 minute bites everywhere, but half of the bites were Zach and Santina.
I feel like they got to do extra work this season to like help us get to know these house guests and like show us what's going on. But we keep
don't know
getting
what
like
the hell's going on.
such random stuff.
It is really random. All right, so the pizza and beer party, they had furry handcuffs from the sex shop. Is that also a sponsor?
I don't know, but they were going to be tied together in pairs.
For the entire night. Soiree with two E's.
And an accent?
Yes.
Okay. And Big Brother picked who the pairs were going to be. So again, they're trying to like make some stuff happen here.
Yeah.
We noticed Ty and Claudia were paired up.
We had Hope and Renee also.
Oh my god.
And Hope, I don't know, I think you better...
There were 3 people in those cuffs. Renee, Hope, and Hope's insane farts.
You gotta keep Hope away from the freaking Hello Fresh meals because it's Hello Farts meals.
Oh my god, I'm sorry. It was
so
too much.
bad.
It was too much. It was too much.
And she had to stand outside the door while he did his business.
I feel like usually when they have people like tied together like that, they're like, okay, you can like unattach for a second. You just have to stand by the door while the person goes to the bathroom. But
this is Canada. They don't do that.
I don't know.
All right. Well, we also had Vanessa and Anika. And Vanessa said she has a feeling that people are here to play a dirty game.
Well, Anika has a bunch of people that she doesn't like, but we'll
get there. You know
who's
playing a dirty game? Freaking Anika. Freaking Anika. Claudia and Ty, this was the setup for their little showmance. She was
action.
rubbing his fingernail. Too sexy.
We will say, like, if you haven't been keeping up with the digital dailies, this showmance is, like, kind of
real
moving, but Ty has made it known to his allies that he's not actually interested in Claudia in that way. He wants to use her basically as a shield. Yeah, so that people would target the showmance before they go after the guys.
I feel like this is a manufactured showmance storyline of the show.
I could see that, for sure.
Yeah. Sorry, that's our dog chewing a Nylabone. It's either that or barking. And
I'll take the chewing.
You want the chewing.
Yeah.
All right, so Santina and Rob are talking.
This was just so, like, I felt like unnecessary.
Well...
Like, we could have used some other video clips.
Said, let's talk about something other than game.
Oh my god, the giggles. He's like, let me show you some yoga poses. Happy baby or whatever. And this other one.
I do not want to see him give birth on the HOH room floor.
It was very much, I'm going to present my crotch.
Do you like?
No! Oh my god.
All right, so Anika, I never realized from the digital dailies how much hate she has for Renee, Dan, JM,
and Claudia. Yeah.
Claudia was number 1 on her hit list.
Well, she was like, Claudia's in a showmance with Ty. She's done. She's dead to me.
What about Ty?
Yeah.
Double standard much?
Yeah, I know, really. Like, what's going on there? But she was like, no, Claudia's out.
Dan's out.
She said a lot of stuff.
Renee's out. JM, he's dangerous.
Well, she said JM is like...
The devil.
She really doesn't like him.
No.
She thinks he's toxic. She said all 4 of those are toxic.
All right, and Kuzi said...
Let's slow down a little bit here.
That leaves a lot of guys in the house, then.
A lot of those big bros.
Tostinos.
Himbos.
Yeah. All right, so, of course, when Anika goes to do her HOH chat with Santina, she immediately wastes no time throwing John Michael under the bus. Or should I say John Martin?
John Martin. Yeah, it's a lot. But Santina's like, because she's already thinking about going after...
Yeah.
I was going to say John Martin. JM.
All right, and then Dan has his chat with Santina, and he says, what's up? And she says, you.
Yeah, it was really awkward.
Like, why?
She was basically like, you're the last person to talk to me. So...
Yeah.
That's what it is. And he was like, wait, but it's not my fault. Like,
yeah.
I was the last one in the lineup. It's not, I can't do anything about that.
Well,
that really sucks. That's messed up.
Yeah, it really is. That's such a lame reason.
It's pretty lame.
All right, everyone get your asses to the living room.
They had the dramatic lighting going and everything.
Everybody was a centimeter away from pissing their pants.
I'm sure Hope was releasing some farts into the air.
So they said, Vanessa, please come to the diary room.
Ah! So, of course, Vanessa comes out with the Bel Air Direct.
Yes.
Bel Air Direct insurance policy.
Canada has been voting for one of us.
To be safe for the week.
Yeah. Can't be nominated, can't be evicted.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Claudia. Cut to Anika.
Sorry, Anika.
She went. All right.
So Claudia was pretty excited about that.
Of course,
I don't think she was really in any danger this week, but you never know. Apparently with like Anika going after her so hard.
Well, thankfully Anika's not in power. So Daniel's jealous of Claudia. He wanted to be Canada's favorite.
I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean that person is Canada's favorite. It's only week 1, but yeah, he wanted that vote. He wanted that what's the word I'm looking for? Affirmation?
Yeah.
From Canada.
So
we don't know anyone yet.
No, JM comes in and says, what's going on? Because no one's talking to me.
Yeah, there were a bunch of people hanging out in the purple toucan room. And apparently they're like the outcasts because the other room is in power right now.
Right.
And JM was like, no one's telling me anything. And everyone else was like, me neither. Maybe you guys should, like, I don't know, make a group and, like, talk to each other.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
JM wants to know, is this a room versus room situation?
That's what it looks like.
Yes. Thank you, Canada. I mean, thank you, Big Brother. So, Santina and Anika are having a chat.
Anika is back in that HOH room because she knows her butt's on the line. So, she's trying to throw out other people, throw out names out there.
Oh, wait. Who does she throw out? The same old people. I'm not bad like JM, Claudia, Renee, and Dan. I'll have your back. Not like JM, Claudia, Renee, and Dan.
She was saying, like,
Don't you want to put them up?
Yeah, all these other people have been kissing your butt. I didn't want to talk to you right away.
Rub your ass.
Yeah, rub your ass. Ew. That's weird. Weird phrasing there.
So she actually convinced Santina not to put her up on the block.
And Santina was like,
all right, she's not going to put her up on the block.
Not putting you up.
Sorry,
remember those words.
Sorry that I use that as an excuse for putting you up. You know, not connecting with you because now we're like connecting. And you're telling me about JM, Claudia, Renee, Dan. Nah.
Well, we'll see what happens with that.
So then, after that, Santina tells Ty and Zach that she's putting up JM.
Because she was like, you know what? if I'm going to go after somebody, I want to give them...
I want to stab them in the front.
Yeah,
I
want to give them a fair shot at competing for that veto. And, of course, that's, like, the more admirable route.
Right.
But the guys are like, no. Or specifically, Zach is like, no. You have to backdoor him. You can't give him that chance. You can't let him play.
It's not your HOH. I'm going to bed, and I'm doing what I want to do.
Okay.
Cut to, like, 8 hours later. Zach is still hammering away at Santina.
And he was, like, really gross in this convo. He was straight up mansplaining, even though he said he wasn't going to.
I'm a good businessman.
I'm, like, really successful in my real life.
I'm like a chameleon. I get along with everyone.
I was waiting for him to say, I'm the Kim Kardashian of Ottawa.
Is he?
I'm the most successful person in this house.
Is he a mini mogul?
Apparently.
A social media mogul?
I'm sorry. It was just a lot. And then he was saying some really mean things about people, calling JM a cancer and saying
Cancer
everyone
spreads.
hates him, and then saying nobody cares about Anika.
Right.
You know, Dan is just a number. Like, it was
terrible.
It was gross.
It was really bad. So now it's time for noms.
Oh, and again, he was saying, oh, JM or Dan is in love with me. I can't remember now if it was JM or Dan.
Yeah, I don't know.
But he's saying, oh, this person's in love with me.
I guess he thinks everybody's in love with him.
I don't know.
All right, so it's time for the noms, and Santina does not want to get blood on her hands. No blood. No blood on the hands. So, who does she put up? Why don't you take it away, Zach?
Yeah, really. I mean, she's doing exactly what Zach wanted.
Dan and Anika. After she told Anika she wasn't going to put her up.
So not only is she going back on her promise there, but she's also going to be trying to do a dirty backdoor in week 1.
She said, Dan, I put you up because we haven't connected, and you were the last person to talk to me. Anika, we did connect, but not in the game.
Level. Yeah. This is a messy, messy first HOH, I gotta say.
Sloppy. Messy.
Very much like a puppet HOH,
Lazy.
I would say.
It's like in the Lord of the Rings movie when Wormtongue, Zach is Wormtongue.
Yeah, and King Theoden.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly like that.
We need Gandalf to show up and do a little exorcism.
Oh, I know your face.
Who in this cast would be Gandalf?
Gandalf?
Kuzi.
Yeah, probably.
Kuzi's the only one who can save this.
Yeah. You know, she's probably one of the most real. And Daniel. Mm-hmm. Because he's out of the mess right now. He's doing his own thing.
For now.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
Well, you know what? That's good because he knows when to keep his mouth shut.
All right. Well, let us know what you thought about this episode. We will be back tomorrow for another Digital Daily and for an episode chat. So check that out too.
Remember, it's 9 o'clock tomorrow.
Right, because it's after Survivor.
It's the 7 o'clock sandwich. 7 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 7 o'clock.
Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you all so much for watching. We will see you next time. And until then, much love.